can continue as well. Hey, we are live. Everybody, Marin is here. Darksiders Comics. We have Base Marine
Hello.
here, and we have a new challenger. It's called Nyriam. Nyriam joining us, and we're going to talk with her about her comics and her projects. And Base Marine, you are Jeroen. You are
Yes.
telling your story towards Nyriam. Maybe you can go like a little bit for the viewers.
Yes. I'm working on a comic series based on something that happened close to where I live right now. Uh, it's a World War II comic series that is based on. Well, everybody knows that when America got involved with World War II, they went to help from England to bomb the Germans. And yeah, we live in the Netherlands, at least Marinus and me, Darkside and me. I
Yeah.
don't know where Nyriam lives, but
I'm from Slovakia.
okay, yeah, that's a little bit further. Yeah, I uh, to uh, to bomb the Germans, the Americans used B-17 bombers. People might know it uh, from Eric Weathers' comic as well, Flying Fortresses, they were called. Yeah, they were basically the biggest, most badass bombers in history, and they flew over the Netherlands where we live, and on the way back from a mission, the bomber was shot from the sky by the Germans, and it crash landed in the Netherlands. 300 meters from where I live right now. And yeah, that's the story is about that crew that partially survived the crash and tried to get back to England to get back into the fight. But they have to cross yeah, a whole country of enemy territory, and the Dutch underground resistance tries to help them get back to England so they can continue bombing the Germans. So it's a very, yeah, sometimes aggressive, sometimes adventurous, sometimes yeah, spying and sneaking, but also very horrific details that happened in the Netherlands during World War II. Like, yeah, something that will be in the comics as well is what happened to my great grandfather, who died in that time because, yeah, people that tried to help the enemy were basically killed uh, as soon as they found out, or they made a public spectacle of it. So that's also going to be in the story. Yeah, I don't want to tell too much because yeah, I yeah, you have to find out a little bit in the story itself by reading it. So yeah, that's basically the red thread throughout the story. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So how far are you right now? I mean, have you been drawing lately? Because you are, like I said, for the people who don't know, Base Marine was um, uh, away a while, so you don't have to go in details. But have you been drawing, or someone else? Maybe.
No, I was, yeah, I really had to take a little bit of time for myself to get my head on straight
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, yeah, I lost three very important people in my life within a week,
Yeah.
and that was a really hard. That came really hard. Yeah, I still have problems with that. So,
Yeah. I
but
can imagine. So Nyriam, so you doing you approached me yesterday on Twitter,
Yeah.
and you are making a webcomic, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about a little bit that? What's it's all about?
Now I feel that Baz Marine put the line over here, and I'm like way down there. So So this is
Every
gonna be.
story is different, so that doesn't really matter. It's your story. That's the
Yeah.
important
It's
part,
not
right?
about the difference. It's about that you prepared actually what you want to tell about your comic, and now I'm.
Oh, I
What
didn't
am I going
repair
to
anything.
say?
He kind of ambushed me. So, well, yeah, we talked about it a lot in the past few months, so he knows what I'm working on. So, but
That's
I didn't
unfair.
prepare anything at all. So,
No, me neither. We're going in blind, so we're asking just simple questions, or maybe, like I said, maybe before we go live, maybe you have some questions for us as well, or not, of course. But so you're doing a how do you say? I have to get the message a little bit back. So you're doing a some kind of werewolf or wolf story about a girl.
Yeah, it's a werewolf comic based. Like Besmerin said, that his story is set in the past, and mine is kind of current nowadays one. But it's a kind of a fantasy world, so they live in a fantasy land. It's called Sapphire Peninsula, and in this land there are five packs, and my story evolves around the main heroine called Lena Jensen, and she's a werewolf. And I base my werewolf just on the fact that they shift into full breed wolves. So there are no in betweens, like humanoid forms of these werewolf kinds. So it's either human or it's a wolf. And the thing is that Lena was born a girl, and in this world, uh, the males are the dominant ones, the alphas, the members who lead their packs. And due to an unfortunate attack that happened in the past to her when she was like 5 years old, I think. Yes, she was 5 years old, and she lost her parents, and the only person who left her was her little brother. And so she got afraid. She got scared that she might lose her little brother in another attack. So she decided to work for it and to go for the title of the Alpha. So yeah, but she has it hard because the girls aren't the alphas, the girls don't train, the girls don't fight, but she wants to do this. So
Yeah,
yeah.
cool. And so you're already doing this for a very long time, right? So you got a like I heard you say more than 1,000 pages yet of the webcomic.
It's I don't have 1,000 pages. It's estimated length of according to the story, because I wrote a summary, and I talked about the summary with a friend, and
Hmm.
according to the story and what kind of action happens there and how the relationships develop there, we kind of counted that it should be probably somewhere around 1,000 plus pages. So if I make this in this comic, it will be like maybe 5, 6, 7 volumes. So yeah, it will be pretty big.
Yeah, interesting. Because Jeroen, you say also that your book is going to be multiple volumes, right?
yes, as it stands right now, it's going to be a mini series of 5 comics, just to go into detail on everything I want to tell. But that sometimes one book is too short if you have too much detail. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes you get carried away.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I recognize that, because when I was creating the story from the Blackout Manor, what we are doing now, I have so much stuff, and we have to cut this, change this,
Mm.
and it took me a very long time because I have to make decisions that I really want to keep in a comic, but at the same time, does it fit the narrative and does it fit the story? So we have to change that a lot, and I had a hard time sometimes, you know, dealing with that, because I really want that part to have to be in a comic. But then when I read the story, we doing parts. We just creating, like, say 1 to 5 pages, and then we gonna going from 1 to 5 and said, this is good, this is going to get out, this is going to stay in, this needs to get a change, and then we continue till, I don't know, 5 till 20, etc., until everything is 100%, and then we go from 1 to 40 pages because we're making a 40-page horror comic, and then we're going from 1 to 40 pages from start to finish, reading it over and over and over again, and then we pluck out the details that needs to change or remove or getting added in to fit the story. And it was a hard thing to do, but it as it is now, I really love what we have created, and I cannot wait to show everybody. So yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how do you, Nyriam? How do you describe your comic? What kind of genre is it? Is it horror? Is it action? Is it romance? What is it?
It's not a horror, even though it's. I was told that it started in a gloomy manner, in a kind of sad and dark way, but it's rather a romantic and action drama, I say, because it's called Bonds, and it's called Bonds because I was focusing on showing different kinds of bonds among the family, brother and sister, love bonds, maybe hate bonds, friendship, so different stuff happening to heroine, and she's growing with each change, each bond that she creates and stuff. So yeah, romance and action dramas. It's werewolves, so they fight a lot. So it's going to be a lot of action in it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, if you let's say pick a movie, right, or two movies, how can you describe it? Is it yours like Twilight or like a an action movie? Which movie do you reference your comic to?
Yeah, I really hate when people compare the story to Twilight because we had a long talk about this. In Twilight, Bella is a
Twilight,
girl
terrible.
that everything just happens to her. She doesn't move a finger, and it's just
Yeah,
shit
cries a lot.
happens to her. Yeah. And my character, she needs to work for every single bit what she achieves. So if I had to probably compare this, it would be more. I know the genre doesn't fit, but Underworld is something
Oh
a
yeah,
bit more
cool.
close to it because the main heroine, like again, she must work. She is somewhere else where she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be. I don't know, Craven's wife or something like that. She doesn't want to be. She wants to be something else. So yeah,
Cool.
fighting the odds, fighting the destiny.
Yeah, I love Underworld. I've seen all the movies, even the less good ones. But yeah, the concept is very good. Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds great. Does she have I don't know superpowers or not, or is she just a regular human with
Each
some
werewolf,
sort of supernatural element in there?
yeah, each werewolf has some kind of abilities according to their ranks. You know, they are ranked alpha, beta, gamma, delta, zeta. I have many different ranks there, and each has some perks, but I wouldn't want to reveal it yet.
No,
It's
no, of course.
kind of
Yeah.
in the story later.
Can you show us, because you don't does absolutely not know what kind of work you have produced?
Not yet, but
Yeah, I could show you maybe some sketches I'm working on currently, but it
Sure.
doesn't depict my main heroine, or I could maybe share screen with you.
Yeah, sure. And otherwise, maybe you can use Twitter. If you have Twitter open, you can share some of your from your web comic as well. So if you want to share, yeah, do please.
Okay, so I'm sharing the screen. I didn't prepare Twitter. I prepared just my DeviantArt
Hmm.
pictures, just a few of them. And you asked previously what movie it is based on, but it's not really based on any movie. I know that there
That's
was
good.
some kind of TV series called Teen Wolf, but I've never seen it actually. But it's
Oh,
rather
you Michael J.
based.
Fox. It's a funny movie, right?
I've never seen it. I didn't want to watch it, so I don't get influenced by it. So because I really spent like a long time studying these werewolf rules and their abilities and their world and all this, and I wanted to build it originally without any influence.
Yeah, I get it.
So I started it. I started it as a book, as a literature, and it was this was the first cover I actually made for the books. But
Oh,
the
wow.
literature wasn't really kind of a way. So here in the middle, we can see Lena in her wolf form, and all
Yeah.
the characters that kind of evolve around her. And I think this was a good cover because if it was a book, then people could see all the characters. But if it was a comic, then it's not a really good choice. And I made a different cover for the comic. So I prepared a few pictures, few a lot. Here we can see
Wow.
just the
Yeah.
wolves.
Can you zoom that in a little bit more, or is this maximum? Oh, wow.
That's
This
really
is
great. Very
that's
detailed.
yeah. I really love the faded out grass in the front here, and then we have the sharpness of the grass and the walls behind that, and then the stars and the trees. Oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, and the sky looks more real. It's not
Yeah.
one flat color that you see in a lot of comics these days.
This is kind of colored one, but I actually borrowed the sky and play with the picture a little bit. So yeah.
Wow. I really love this scene. It's very serene, and I love the whole vibe of it. It's wow.
You can also see a little bit of emotion in the
Yeah,
wolves themselves.
Yeah, the
absolutely.
funny thing about this picture is when I showed it to my students for the first time, they thought that this was a female and this was a male wolf, but it's quite the opposite because Lena's wolf is black and this is her friend that we are going to meet a little bit later.
Great. Absolutely great.
Okay, so here's the next one. I'm particularly proud of this picture. I know there are a few characters that didn't really go well, but there is this expression. I can zoom in a little bit closer, but really love this expression and how it came out. This is a scene from a book. There is a big car like behind him and the strong light, and they are trying to stare each other down, and it's really good. I love it after the time. So yeah, that's the one. The thing is that when they get too emotive, their eyes start to glow. That's kind of signalizing that their wolf is pushing out and they might transform soon.
Yeah, great.
Okay, this is a picture of all the characters in the group. Okay, she has a group of people who she trains with, but there are only like four people that are really important for the story, and that's Lena, her brother Jesse, this is Dell, and this is Liam, and the rest guys are kind of side characters. Okay,
Yeah.
here you can see
Yeah.
Lena in the two different styles. I tried it in a manga way or in a comic way and in the full colored way, but I got pointed out that probably black and white would be better for my style.
I like
Okay.
both, by the way. I mean, yes,
Yeah, me too.
yeah. I mean, I love the shading more and the light interval. But I know what you're getting at. The black and white is
It's
I don't know.
cleaner.
Maybe it fits the style more. Yeah, it's great. Can you
Okay.
go a little bit below with the character? Can you, yes, scroll? I mean, you see the difference. I mean, with the black and white, it's very dark in front, and then the light source from behind, and the color is more when you see the top, and there is with the belly. There's a lot of I don't know, a natural shading, natural lighting. It's cool. It's really cool. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so when I decided that I wanted to do the comic style black and white, I just decided to put down all the characters and their features so I could easily redraw them. So I know the shapes of the eyes, the shapes of the lips, the shapes of the heads, and hairstyles. But the funny
Yeah.
thing, they evolved. They all evolved. For example, Lena doesn't have a ponytail but a braid. Liam's style, hairstyle changed a lot as well. So yeah, they're evolving.
Nice.
Okay, this is. I wanted to show you this. Despite doing a normal comic, I also do a little web comics. I call them mini comics. They are based on daily situations that often happen to me, and I put them into small comics that are funny in the end, and people seem to love them.
So so wait, you doing two comics? I mean, you have two, or
Not really, not really. It's a kind of a side project, something funny happens to you, so you use your characters and just
yeah,
make a small sketch out of it.
right.
Okay. Okay, this one is a kind of a teaser I made because in all four pictures we can see Lena, but in each picture we can see a different type of different man. Sorry. So because people knew in the beginning that it was going to be a romance story, but so they were guessing who would Lena end up with, and I wanted to make it funny. So who do you think she will end up with? This is
Yeah.
Liam. This is Dell. This is Nate. And this is someone we don't know yet. So who do you think?
That's
Which
a
is
good
your guess?
question.
Playful, sweet, raw, or unrequited?
I go for sweet.
You go for sweet, okay.
That could be it, right?
Buzz Marine?
You know?
Yeah, I don't know the background from the character, but
What
uh,
visually?
I think if she had what you showed so far, she looks a little bit, yeah. She likes being a werewolf, I think. So then she might like playful or raw better.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
Let's see what happens.
We're playing a little game here, right?
Yeah, a little mind game actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I made these four pictures, I get pointed out that love can be even different. So I made this fifth picture, and which depicts Lena and her brother, because that's a kind of also the most important bond that goes through the story till the very end.
I like the emotions of the faces. I mean, you said in the private DM that you said, "Hey, is my art good or not?" I'm definitely like your art. It's full of emotions. It's very good composition. I like that. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I try my best.
yeah. Well,
Okay, this one is kind of practicing. So I chose Liam because his hairstyle is the most complicated one, and I tried different angles. I mean the animation of head turning, and
hmm
it ended up in a GIF. Sorry. So here's the start.
wow.
Yeah. My bro makes fun of me about the FPS rate, so yeah, I'm not really
So you did the
an
gift
animation.
yourself, also?
Once again,
You did the gift yourself?
yeah, yeah, it's
Okay.
easy.
Cool.
I made it as a video in a movie maker, so it's easy to do
Yeah,
this kind of yeah.
yeah. You can
So,
see you
but
have a lot
yeah,
of talent. Yeah.
and
Oh
here's a
wow.
Ah,
little
this
bit.
looks cool.
Oh wow. Wow. I
Yeah,
have to zoom that in. Wait a minute. So, can you make it a little bit bigger?
of
Yeah.
course, or maybe not. Just a bit,
Jesus.
maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't go bigger. Oh, I can, but it's a bit of blurry.
Yeah, but I like the little effects you have on the transition from human to wolf.
Well, this picture was because before I even started the comic, I wasn't really sure how should I portray the transformation. I was really confused about should I like make the hands turn into claws, or how should I do it. Then I thought about this thought kind of change. If you ever watched Avengers, then you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But I kind of didn't like this one, so I even made this transformation process. We will see later.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what's here. Oh, this is the transformation process. So this is the mini comic I was talking about. I made these tall, slim comic strips that you can show from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
So they usually need to get undressed because if they shift in their clothes,
Wow,
they
the
will
anatomy,
break.
man. Ah, okay,
So
cool.
so oh you can see even Lena naked a little bit there.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really quickly done because I just wanted to make the grip
Yeah.
of the transformation process of the limbs.
Yeah, it's more like a traditional transformation from man to wolf,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah,
see in
yeah.
a lot of horror comic movies, like American Werewolf in London. That's an
Yes.
oldie. Yeah.
But I'm not planning to show this stage in the comic, so I wouldn't imply the fact that there is this in between stage.
Yeah.
So here we have the wolf.
Wow, nice. Nice wolf.
The
Absolutely
funny
great.
thing is, I didn't know how to draw wolves.
Yeah, is it
It was really painful.
yeah, with the fur and the snouts and maybe the anatomy or
Yes, the overall details like eye shapes, snouts, noses, paws. The
yeah,
limbs were the worst. I mean, the paws are kind of strange. I was used to
can
draw.
imagine how much work is in there. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
doing this for 12 years, right? You say.
Yeah, I've been on DeviantArt for 12 years, drawing different kind of pictures.
Hmm. So what is it what you wanted to do? I mean, are you wanted to continue your web comic, or is it more of a hobby, or do you want to get serious with this? But because we talked in private that maybe you should go to crowdfunding, maybe Kickstarter or possibly Indiegogo, right? So
Yes,
what is your goal with this?
I definitely want to go further with this project because I really took an effort and I really poured. I will say this in a really cliche way. I poured my heart and soul in this project, and I think
Yeah,
it's worth reading. And I don't think the story is bad or something. So I think people would like this.
cool. It's
Yeah, I
all.
think there is definitely a audience for that because uh, yeah, we are in a community as well where there is a guy Adam Post. He has an
Yeah,
well the same kind of thing that started with an web comic that
yeah,
he started to release as a normal comic that was about zombies then, but
yeah.
there really is an audience for that because he really got a lot of money funded for just one book. So
Yeah, and he used that money to launch the second part. I mean, you
yes,
can see here a lot of dynamic. You see the beautiful background, by the way, and the lighting. Yeah, I see a lot of potential here. Absolutely.
yes,
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah. This one is I like it as well. Cool.
this was a little play of maybe the anatomy and the lighting, and to show that these two are completely different because he's rather an endurance type of guy and he's a sheer power type of guy. So maybe to differ them a little bit. And here is something extra I made. This was made over one night, and I decided
Oh,
to make a map of the Sapphire Peninsula, so we know where it actually begins. It's fictional. I just took random parts and made a kind of a collage out of it. So I got this funny shape. I already had it in mind, so I just
yeah.
played with it a little bit and then added the details. And so we can see that this one is Lena's pack, and this is the actually the crucial area of it that needs to be guarded, because this whole area is rich, it's safe, it's without wars, with many opportunities, and outside people and the rogue werewolves, they want that, and the only way they can get to this area is through this thin line, and that's why Lena's pack is called a defender pack. So they fight twice as much as the rest.
So if I'm, is it then like I see a lot of symbols here? See the coast pack, the seahorse pack. So every pack has a part of the land that they are protecting, or was there some wars going on there between
Not
factions?
really. They made a kind of a truce. They made a kind of an agreement pact that each pack has its own field of interest, like
Yes.
politics, economy, agriculture, and stuff. So that's why, for example, Lena's pack doesn't really care about the economy and stuff, because they are funded by the rest of the packs. So their main focus is just to keep the area safe, to guard
Right.
the borders.
And who are the enemies? Is that the humans or maybe another wolf pack?
Yes, the other wolf packs, the rogue werewolves, and humans. Because
Right.
because
Cool.
this whole area is 95% of werewolves. The 5% are humans that are mated to humans. So this area was kind of built only for werewolves.
Cool. So a whole land of werewolves. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And are there maybe besides werewolves, maybe other creatures like I don't know, vampires or some other monsters, or is it just werewolves?
I have a small island here. It's called the Witch Island. So there
Yeah.
are witches, but just to make it sure, my witches aren't like when you imagine, for example, Saxana, like having a magic wand and doing magic potions. It's taken from a different approach, and people will see that in the comic in the very end, a little bit later. It's
Hmm.
more of a genetic medical stuff connected with
Right.
a little bit of mystery.
Cool. Sounds mysterious. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So what more do you have?
Okay, so I just made these to practice the expressions and maybe to get a hang of the characters I have. So this is Jesse Lena's brother. This is Del,
Yeah.
and this is Liam.
Great.
And here we can see colored picture. So this is Lena actually. And
Ah,
then there are two pictures that are not really connected to the webcomic, but I wanted to show them to people
yeah. Sure.
because I was watching Django.
Now Django Unchained. Yeah.
Yeah, Django Unchained, and also the Magnificent Seven.
Yes, the
And
cowboy movies.
this movie kind of inspired me so much that I took Del Chisholm's clothes and put Del into them.
Yeah.
And also I got inspired by Faraday.
Oh wow. Can you
So
zoom that in? Yes, please.
yeah,
Wow. Nice. Nice. Nice.
Looks really cool.
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
then
I'm
I'm
very impressed. Yeah.
glad you like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the lighting. I really love the
Okay,
lighting and the shirt with the I don't know what the English word on is, but it looks a lot of detail. Let's leave it at that.
yes, I played with it. And the funny thing about these two pictures that they really took a long amount of time, and these two guys are undressable.
Well, okay.
So if anyone is interested, so they can search them up. Okay, let's move to next one. So this one
Oh yeah.
was a little bit
This
the practice of perspective.
Yeah, I love the perspective of this one. I mean, you showed the progress from being sketches to line art and then to did you have color? I guess so, right? Well,
Yes,
show
it
it.
was
Why
it
not?
was colored. So this is the colored one. I
Wow.
really was happy because when I was drawing these pictures, this picture one, I found this special set of brushes I was missing because first when I was drawing in Photoshop, I had this special set of brushes. You can see the inking a little bit over here.
Yeah.
And when I moved to Clip Studio, I really missed those brushes, and I was kind of sad. But then I figured out that this guy who made them, he also made a set for Clip Studio. So I went like, yay! I was so happy.
Winning.
Yeah, total. Because this is a texture brush, but I use it for the fur. It's really great for fur.
Yeah.
So that's
I
it.
love the whole dynamic, danger, attack mode, composition. I love that. Right. Cool. Very cool. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the mini comic I was talking about. Probably it's not time to read it, but this one is called "Cooking with Dell" because in the comic
He's your favorite, right?
um, yeah, kind of because he's easy to make fun of.
So this is more like a fun take on the characters, I guess. More like a humorous
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. You can see the KFC and and fun stuff. Blue Bar instead of Red Bull,
Yeah.
and
I see a
and
lot
yeah.
manga reference here and anime reference. Yeah.
Yeah, and for example, this one pose, I had it in mind since I rewatched this movie, so I wanted to draw it really bad.
I mean,
So it's just made for people to laugh a little bit.
yeah. And that's cool that you do that. Just changing up a little bit. So this is your current project, right?
Yes, that's the current project, and this is how the manga or how the comic. I wouldn't call it manga. It's half and half. It's not. It's a mutant. It's both of them.
Yeah, it's your
So
own
how
style.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the style I like because I tried to go for realism a little bit. I know she has big eyes, but because she's young, but the main story evolves when she's older, so she will look a little bit more real there.
Is this the more prequel for the story, or
I have few chapters where she's quite young, and that is because I wanted to explain people the world, how the rules, the werewolves, and to add the characters that comes to her group one by one, so they don't get overwhelmed.
yeah, I get that. Looks
So
great.
it's kind of an intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the last pick I prepared is the logo. So if you happen to come across this logo anywhere, so this is it.
Cool. Absolutely cool. Yeah. So what do you think, Jeroen? Is this something for you?
Yeah, I think it might be that.
Yeah. Looks good, right?
Yeah, I really like the art, and the story sounds very interesting as well. So
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. I'm glad you shared that. It's impressive. Um, so yeah, I think when you do crowdfunding, if you want to do that, of course, then there are, like Jeroen says, there is people there that could be interested in this. I mean, crowdfunding is so broad. There's a lot of people with different tastes. Some like superheroes, some like horror, some like werewolves and monsters, and
yes,
some other scenes. It would be great. So yeah, I think 48 page for starters, or less or more, it could be great. Yeah,
yeah, I really hope that people will eventually like it. So
yeah, cool. You
yes,
do you have
yeah.
something to add as well?
Yeah, I have a question that it came up a little bit late, but you mentioned a few times that there are 5 packs in the country that you
Right.
show in the series.
yeah,
Uh, but you also showed a small group of people that the story is about. But will the packs interact with each other, or is it
Yes,
solely focused on those few people? Or
well, there are more packs because they are going to interact in a way, but it will be quite later. But there or out of these 5 packs, 2 interact quite closely, and that will also be revealed. Well, actually,
okay,
you already seen it in the picture where the colored picture of those 2 people staring each other. Do you remember
okay,
the picture? The
yes,
blonde guy with the hard light from behind him. So he's the guy from another pack who came to mock Lena and to pick up a fight. So
okay,
that's the first interaction we actually get to see.
yeah. Yeah,
Great.
I understand that there will be a bit of trouble between the packs, or
Yeah.
yeah, that will probably make a really fun story. So yeah,
Yeah. If you ever seen a wolf climbing a tree, then yes, it will be funny.
Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing. Great. Great. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of information and a lot of new stuff I haven't seen before. So thank you, Nyriam, for sharing that with us. That's really great. Do you have some topics that you want to share or not yet?
not yet. I yeah, like I said, I had to take a little bit of time for myself, so I haven't
Yeah.
really done anything with the story I'm working on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just took a little time for me to get my head back in the game. Let's say that way. But
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah. Well,
sometimes life gives you a twist that you just have to deal with, and
yeah.
you only get stronger for it. And I'm back, so
Yeah, I'm glad you're back, man. I hope it's gonna get better for you
yeah,
Yes,
eventually.
this whole
eventually,
year is kind of strange. I've been experiencing this as well, like
yes.
the hardships. So I feel with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2020. The whole year for everybody is strange, I think. So everybody has their own obstacles.
Yeah, but 2021, 21 37. So maybe it's going to be lucky. Yeah. So
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Okay, great. So, well, on that note, I think we should end the stream. Thank you all for coming here. Nyriam, I'm gonna leave the link from your. If you're gonna send to me, I'm gonna leave it in the description for people, and I'm gonna share it on Twitter as well. Jeroen, thanks also, and we'll see you next time. And thank you for
Yeah.
watching. Bye.
Next week.
Oh yeah, next
bye.
week.
Next week we are talking with the creator of Elysian Fields. Also
Yeah,
a little interview. That's he
yeah,
offered it to us, so
yeah.
that
Looking
I have
forward to
the
that.
poster actually here. So
Oh, really? Cool.
Wow.
Do you have the comic
that's
as well? Can you show this to us?
yeah, sure. I don't know how it will show up on the. It is a holographic cover, so it might glare a little, but
Oh wow,
Wow.
that's really cool. So well,
it's yeah. The start is the Troy movie, the with Achilles and all that, and after he dies, you actually follow Achilles into yeah the afterlife, let's say,
into
and that
Hades.
yeah he
Yeah.
really made his own story from a legend from way back when. So it's really interesting, and we're
Yeah.
going to get into that Wednesday, the 26th.
Next week,
Yes,
26. Oh wow, we have to announce it on Twitter and on YouTube to everybody because
yes,
that's cool. Oh man, I'm
yeah.
on board.
This is the first step, so
Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
So
That's great.
next week we will be back, and
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, bye guys. I'll see you next time.
bye.
Bye. Thanks.